In today's episode, we uncover a chilling tale from the Geeta Akash Deep Apartments on Mira Road, Maharashtra. On June 7, 2023, a case surfaced from room 704 that left everyone bewildered by its shocking truth. The story unfolds on the 7th floor, home to just 4 apartments. The residents of rooms 701, 702, and 703 were known for their camaraderie. But room 704 held a different narrative. It was the residence of Manoj, a reclusive 56-year-old man, and Saraswati, a 35-year-old woman. Both were enigmatic figures, seldom engaging with their neighbors or participating in community events. The mystery deepened when a foul odor began to emanate from the floor where Manoj lived. It was so overpowering that it drew the residents out of their homes, yet no one from room 704 appeared. The neighbors speculated it might be a deceased rodent and conducted a thorough search, but nothing out of the ordinary was found. The next day, the stench grew even more intense, yet its source remained elusive. Then came the fateful day, Wednesday, June 7th. Somesh, from room 703, approached the door of room 704, where the smell was strongest. Despite his persistent knocking, there was no response from Manoj or Saraswati inside. Somesh stood outside the door of room 704, puzzled by the sudden burst of room spray scent seeping through the cracks. Manoj eventually opened the door, and Somesh expressed his concerns about the foul smell that had been lingering for days. Manoj, hurried and dismissive, promised to check later, citing work as a reason to not let Somesh in. Suspicion crept into Somesh's mind, prompting him to alert the society's chairman and secretary. They sent agents to investigate, and upon encountering the same pungent odor outside Manoj's apartment, they decided to involve the police. With Manoj's phone unreachable and the smell growing unbearable, the police were left with no choice but to break down the door. The officers were met with an overwhelming stench that induced immediate nausea. They braved the odor, searching the bedroom and fridge, only to find them empty. The bathroom revealed no signs of blood, but a whiteboard with math questions hung oddly on the wall. It wasn't until they entered the kitchen that the grim source was discovered. 2 buckets and a large tub filled with blood and pieces of meat scattered beneath. As the investigation intensified, the police turned their attention to the stove. Amidst the chaos, they found meat in a deplorable state on a frying pan. Opening a pressure cooker, they discovered several boiled pieces of meat. The scene grew more macabre when they found a large piece of flesh, eerily resembling a human leg, in a bucket. The discovery prompted the immediate call for a forensic team. In a secluded corner, strands of long hair hinted at a woman's presence, perhaps Saraswati's, who had been missing for days. The police's questioning of Somesh revealed that Manoj had mentioned stepping out for work and returning late at night. With this information, the police discreetly stationed officers around the building. As the night crept on, doubts surfaced about Manoj's return. Yet, close to midnight, he did come back. Sensing the unusual activity, Manoj attempted to flee, but was swiftly apprehended by an undercover agent. Confronted by the police, Manoj initially claimed the remains were animal parts. However, his story lacked consistency, leading to his arrest and a 16-day police custody granted by the court. Manoj's tale to the police was a mix of truths and lies. He painted a picture of his life in Ahmednagar, his education, and a solitary existence marked by a tragic accident that led to an HIV diagnosis after a blood transfusion gone wrong. Manoj's life took a turn when he rented out his apartment for 35,000 rupees and worked at a ration shop for a meager 5,000 rupees. It was in 2008 that he met Saraswati, a 19-year-old with a challenging past. After their mother's death, Saraswati and her sisters were raised in an orphanage. Manoj and Saraswati's paths crossed at the ration shop, and over time, their acquaintance blossomed into love, leading Saraswati to move in with Manoj. However, their relationship was marred by suspicion and arguments. Manoj initially claimed to the police that Saraswati, suspecting him of infidelity, chose to end her life. Distraught, he said he dismembered her body. But this story was a ruse, failing to mislead the authorities. Under intense interrogation, Manoj's narrative shifted, revealing a secret marriage and a life filled with financial woes and domestic strife. The tale grew darker as Manoj confessed to a heinous act, driven by desperation and conflict. To cover his tracks, he resorted to gruesome measures, dismembering and disposing of Saraswati's remains in a manner that shocked the community. The police struggled to piece together the truth, hindered by the lack of concrete evidence and the state of Saraswati's remains. In the end, the police preserved Saraswati's DNA samples for the ongoing investigation, while the rest of the remains were returned to her sisters. With heavy hearts, they performed the final rites, a somber conclusion to a tale of love, betrayal, and tragedy. Thank you for watching.